Wine Library TV. I am your host, Gary Vaynerchuk, and this, my friends, is the Thunder Show, aka, you okay there, Mott? The internet's most passionate wine program. And today is Cabernet Day. Rick Bacchus, a good friend of mine, created Cabernet Day. Hashtag Cabernet. If you're a techie, you know that you can use that hashtag Cabernet in Twitter, Facebook, Foursquare, Gowalla. So please, if you're going to drink a Cabernet Day wine, Cab today, then please use that hashtag and review it. Obviously, it's going around all the wine blogs today. Hope you guys enjoy that. All over the country, lots of places, a lot of people drinking Cabernet. And since I'm part of the wine community, I've decided that I will taste Cabernet today on the show. And speaking of shows, tonight, episode 2 of Wine and Web. All the information is over here on the right side of your computer. If you don't have Sirius XM, you can download a free trial, so click that and listen for 30 days worth, so 4 episodes worth. I hope you enjoy it. Last week's was awesome, and the Opus One CEO was great. I appreciate all the feedback, and I hope a bunch of you call in tonight. I'm going to try to do as many call-ins as possible tonight and interact with you guys, so I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what Cabernet you're drinking. Plus, the Rosenblum Vintage Cuvée is in tonight, so that's exciting. So, let's get right into it. Cabernet Day. 4 Cabernets here. I decided to bring it. If we're going to do Cabernet Day, let's do it right. Some interesting stuff, so I'm excited. Let's get right into it. Lot 25. Cabernet Sauvignon 2007. A good little producer from California, formerly known as Cartledge and Brown. So a lot of you know that brand. It was very famous. I was a big fan. Formerly Cartledge and Brown. It comes, let's see what it says here. California production, mainly from Lodi. And a little bit of Paso fruit. So California appellation, no one specific area, variety of different fruits. $10 price range, which is really attractive. Let's give it a sniffy sniff. You know, classic basic Cabernet smell. Get a little red cherry coming through on the nose, a little bit of kind of a bark off a tree, so there's a little oakiness. Let's give it a whirl. Nothing too complex. As you can see, I'm kind of like struggling. Little kind of a coffee, toffee kind of thing going on in the mid-palate. Thin for a Cabernet, in my opinion. A little bit of a lighter cab. Good tannins. Nice kind of structure on the back end. I like the dark chocolate flavors. It's well made. I don't think it's the worst thing I've ever had. Definitely not the best Cabernet I've ever had either. All in all, a nice, solid, kind of entry-level cab that's probably a hair above the old Hawk Crest that I used to like quite a bit. You know, to me, this is a classic 83-point Cabernet for 10 bones. It doesn't blow me away. You shouldn't hate it. It's definitely not marvelous. You look marvelous. Who was that? George Burns? Who?
Fernando Lamas.
Is that very good, Mott? Thank you for saving me there, George Burns. I don't know. It's a cigar. Yeah, 83 points. Nothing special. And that's that. You know, it is what it is. Jets play their final preseason game tonight, too. Big night. You excited for the season, Mott? Giants haven't looked good, nor have the Jets in preseason.
It's preseason.
I know, but you still see little things.
No.
No, huh?
I've seen seasons that they go 4-0 and then they come out.
Not the record. That is not what I'm saying. It's the subtleties for the first team. You know? You know what I mean? Not the record. I agree with you. Record means nothing. So you'd like to see some consistency. Jets are going to be in trouble in their first 2 games. Just making that early prediction right now. I'm very worried about the first 2. Chateau Saint Jean, 2006, Sonoma Cabernet. $19 US, which is a nice price point. They've come down a little bit. 84% Cab, 10 Cab Franc, 5 Petit Verdot, 1 Malbec, 26,000 cases produced of this marvelous, that's the word today, 15 months in aged French oak, which is 73% of the age, and 27% in American oak, meaning 73% of the final blend was aged in French oak, 23% of it was in American oak, then they put it all together and blended it up. So different oak treatments. As you can see, it's 84% Cabernet. Again, you need to be 75% to be classified as Cabernet. So they use that flexibility to bring in some other varietals, which a lot of people do. And let's see what's going on here. Really a nice dark color. 19 bones for Chateau Saint Jean. Now, Chateau Saint Jean used to be in this price point. Then their Cinq Cépages Cabernet, got a big rating in the Wine Spectator. It was Wine of the Year. And their prices really escalated, not only for the Cinq Cépages, which went from like the 30s to the 70s, but this wine, their average wine, that's not fair. Their standard Cabernet went up in price. Now it's under 20 for the first time in a long time. So this could be some really interesting value. I'm excited, actually. Let's give it a whirl. First, a sniffy sniff. That's how excited I am. Now you're getting into some different things. So much more than a lot 25, though. It should, because it's twice the price. I'm picking up a great plum flavor on the nose. There's also an interesting, and the big ass glasses here. There's some really interesting kind of like dark fruit, a little kirshiness, bright cherries. I kind of like it. Very vibrant, voluptuous kind of flavoring. Red berries. What do you got, Ma? You like voluptuous? You like the voluptuous. All right, let's give it a whirl. Yeah, big wine. Margot, the winemaker here, M-A-R-G-O, not Margot with the A-U-X, Van Staveren. I think we've had her on the show.
Wait.
A million years ago, right?
She was like within the first 50, I think.
Mott, link that up. Google her. Oh my God, she was on the show. She's like 4 years ago. This is incredible, actually. From this standpoint, I think this is really well made. Big structure. The dark chocolate tannins are hitting me on the back end. There's beautiful plum. There's great berries. It's smooth. There's a great kind of viscosity. I just love the mouthfeel, as they like to say in the wine world. And overall, a very well-made wine. And one of the first under $20 California Cabernets I've had in a long time that I feel very bullish in recommending. I'm going to score this wine 90-plus points. This is a very good effort. This is very good Cabernet. And I'm quite surprised, taking it back and enjoying it. Big ups to Chateau Saint Jean. Kudos. Well made. Like it. A lot. I like it a lot. Good stuff. It's got me in the mood. That's a good job. Real good. And then we go, interesting, showed really well. We go into another wine that I think a lot of people love, the Provence 2006 Napa Valley Cabernet. 90 points Wine News. Andy Beckstoffer replanted this vineyard in 1988. Andy is one of the talented vineyard managers and kind of wine personalities in the world. So for 25 bones, a very well-priced kind of Cabernet. Let's see what's going on here. Again, good dark color. This is in Rutherford, which is an amazing place that produces some of the classics. A little bit less aromatic than the Chateau Saint Jean from Sonoma. This is going to be a different kind of style Cabernet. I do get a little bit of like a cranberry component, which I like. And kind of creamy. A lot of creme on the nose. Let's give it a whirl. Classic textbook black cherry, blueberry flavors. So there's a mix of that red and dark fruit, which I like. Good tannins. Alcohol spikes a little bit for me. A little aggressive on that front. Nothing too crazy. Good structure. If there was a blueprint for a solid $25 to $30 Cabernet, this would be it. It doesn't have the mouthfeel excitement that the Chateau Saint Jean did. So I'm a little bit less excited about that component. It's a little bit more choppy and rocky. It's a hair more disjointed as well. I feel like the mid-palate transition to the finish misses a beat. It's kind of like a beautiful symphony. Like, it's going well. Then and kind of like just a little off. But not this big deal. I don't want to paint you the wrong picture. It's kind of like, it's not like the colors are outside the line. It's like if it was outside the line, it'd be like here, not like where I used to draw, out here. The crazies like me. Good wine. I'm going to score this wine 88 plus. Really solid. Really like it. Do not like it as much as the Chateau Saint Jean. that's just my palate preference, but I can see somebody liking it more. There's not this great disparity. It's kind of like looking at art or music or movies. I like Rocky. I was gonna say 3. You're a Rocky 3 guy.
Yep.
I like Rocky, but Rocky, like, how can you not? You like Rocky 3 more than Rocky?
I think so.
Right, and there's like a billion people who don't. I mean, think about that. And then, of course, guys like me that likes Rocky 4 because, is Drago Rocky 4?
Drago.
Yeah, I mean, come on, that's Russia, Oh my God, come on, when he's in the mountain, like, the wheelbarrow. I mean, so it depends on who you are and how you roll. That's what happens here. But for my palate, a little rugged, missing a beat, little spike of alcohol, solid Cabernet. Neither of them embarrass themselves. But the Chateau St. Jean really caught me off guard. I really like it. And now this one I'm really excited about. Like, really excited about. I've heard a lot of big things about Haber. This is the Haber Diamond Mountain Cabernet, 2006, Napa Valley. Winemaker Tim Milos, who's worked with Marco Di Giulio. So he's got some great training. This is planted in Diamond Mountain, really high heights up there. This goes 1,500 to 1,600 feet above sea level. What does it say here? 22 months in New French Oak, which always scares me. Bottled and unfiltered in '08. The vineyard was planted in 2004. Oh man, it smells good. Check this out, man. It really smells good. So it's got like red volcanic soils, which I think are pretty darn cool. So, interesting, huh? Big nose, big red fruit, but also a high-end minerality kind of thing going on. I get a lot of like crushed rock saltiness. Did you get a little bit of saltiness on the nose? That's where you get that minerality.
Okay.
A little like fruit roll-up component as well, so there's a little bit of that like candy fruit. Let's give it a whirl. A little worried about the oak. So the first thing I recognize is it's super silky. The second thing that pops in my mind is 1999. 2002. Why? Not vintages, but the era. From 99 to 2002, there was an enormous frenzy for these cold California wines that were big and explosive, just like brought the guns like I do. Come on. Even with that, I got nothing. Highly collectible, big Parker scores, fancy winemakers and fancy vineyard managers, lots of brand, lots of hype, and make them really smooth, really big, and really delicious, and get big scores. This is the first vintage of this wine. It's $80 US. So it's an expensive dog. And this wine would have absolutely dominated, just dominated, 5, 7, 8, 10 years ago. We probably would have got a 95 Parker based on what I'm tasting here. And people would have joined the mailing list, and everybody would have begged for their 6 bottles. It would be proudly, at the top of every steakhouse mailing list, restaurant list. The sommeliers of those kind of places would love to come out every time you order Dominus and Silver Oak and Opus One and say, oh, you need to try Haber. Bryan Family and Colgin. So it's that style. It's that big, bombastic, you're going to love it style. No doubt about it. It's well made. It's very, very good. I'm going to score this wine 93 plus points. It's extremely well made. It's extremely delicious. It does what it does well. Howard Stern is not for everybody's taste, right, Mott? But what he does exceptionally well. Martha Stewart, not for everybody's taste. What she does well. Andre the Giant. He did his thing. That's what this is. Oh, man, thank you. But you know what I mean? Thanks for that. No, I think that's probably the thesis of this. It does what it does well, and I think that's something to be said for that. And that's that. You may not love tennis, but you have to respect Roger Federer. This does what it does well. really well. It's a bombastic, big California cab. The Bordeaux hounds are going to come out and be like, oh, it doesn't have the complexity, this, that, and the other thing. But if you love this style, if you love Chateau Montelena, if you love Schaefer, if you love Quasita Creek from Washington State, you're going to like Haber. It's a well-made wine and a very nice way to wrap up Cabernet. Good job by Rick Bacchus. Picked a subject, a varietal that I've been very against lately, and this is the king of varietals. I mean, this is what I grew up on. Cabernet Sauvignon was the wine I grew up on, that I loved the most, that I was most enchanted by. 91 to 94 California cabs were my life. And it's nice to be in a place where my palate's starting to appreciate them again, because I overdosed. And now being back, it's fun to be able to appreciate it, even with, 36 months ago on this show, I would have panned this wine in a way where I would have respected it, but I would have scored it lower because, again, they're just my scores. Interesting stuff, interesting varietal. I think a lot of you may want to start coming back, and this might be the wine to do it. And this is widely available. You guys should be able to find it, no problem. Question of the day. Please answer. What is your favorite Cabernet of the moment? What is your favorite Cabernet of all time? You! Ooh, I nailed it. With a little bit of me, we are changing the wine world.